What if I told you that you don't need hundreds of goats or millions of shillings to start a goat farming business? You can start small, learn how to manage your animals properly, allow your herd to grow, and slowly turn a few goats into a serious source of income. But here is the problem. Many people enter goat farming thinking, let me just buy some goats, feed them, and wait for them to multiply. Unfortunately, it is not that simple. A goat can eat, grow slowly, get sick, fail to reproduce, or even die, and suddenly the money you invested starts disappearing. So, if you are thinking about starting goat farming in 2026, stay with me because in this video, we are going to look at how to start small, reduce your costs, choose better goats, control feeding expenses, manage breeding, and most importantly, turn goat farming into a business instead of just keeping goats. And later in this video, I will also show you the simple strategy I would use if I were starting with only a few goats today. So let's start with the most important question. How many goats do you actually need to begin? One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is trying to start with a very large herd. Someone hears that goat farming is profitable, and the first thing they think about is buying 50 or even 100 goats. But starting big also means your expenses become big. More goats mean more feed, more water, more space, more medicine, more labor, and more problems to manage. Instead, if your capital is limited, I would rather see you start with a small number of good female goats and focus on building a strong breeding herd. For example, you could start with 5 to 10 healthy females, depending on your budget and local prices. You don't necessarily have to buy an expensive breeding buck immediately. You can look for a reliable breeding arrangement in your area, where available and appropriate. The idea is simple: start small, learn, improve, and expand. This approach is already being used by farmers in many parts of the world. Farmers have been working with local goats and introducing improved Boer and Savannah genetics to improve the quality and productivity of their herds. And that brings us to something that can make a huge difference in your business: the goats you choose. Not every goat is going to make you the same amount of money, and this is where you need to stop thinking only about the price of the goat and start thinking about its future value. A cheap goat is not always a cheap goat. Imagine you buy an animal because it is very cheap, but it grows slowly, gets sick often, produces poor offspring, and takes a long time to reach a good selling size. You may have saved money when buying it, but you could lose money later. When choosing your foundation females, look for healthy animals with good body condition, good legs and feet, good body shape, and a history of producing healthy kids where that information is available. For meat production, improved breeds such as Boer and Savannah can be used to improve local goats through crossbreeding. And you don't necessarily need to replace your entire herd with expensive exotic goats. In fact, some farmers are using improved Boer bucks with local females to gradually improve their herds. Local goats can provide good adaptation to the local environment, while improved genetics can help with growth and body size. So think about it this way: you are not just buying goats, you are buying the foundation of your future herd. And once you have your goats, there is another expense that can quietly destroy your profits: feed. Let's be honest, if you have to buy expensive feed every single day for every goat, your profit can disappear very quickly. That is why one of the most important things you can do before expanding your herd is to think about where your feed is going to come from. If you have land, use part of it to grow suitable fodder. Establish grasses and other suitable forage plants for your area instead of depending completely on feed purchased from other people. You can also use suitable leaves, browse plants, crop residues, and other locally available feeds, but make sure anything you give your goats is safe and appropriate. The goal is not to starve your goats to save money. The goal is to produce as much good quality feed as possible at the lowest practical cost. A farmer who grows part of their own feed has much more control over the business than a farmer who has to buy everything. And this becomes even more important during the dry season, because when your goats are hungry, they won't magically continue growing quickly just because you want to sell them at a good price. So before increasing your herd from 10 goats to 20, ask yourself one simple question: can I feed 20 goats properly? If the answer is no, don't rush. Grow your feed first, then grow your herd. Now let's talk about housing. You may see beautiful goat farms online with expensive buildings, metal structures, concrete floors, and modern equipment. And you might think you need all of that before you can start. You don't. When starting with limited money, your first goat house doesn't need to look impressive. It needs to be dry, clean, safe, well ventilated, and easy to manage. Your goats need protection from heavy rain, excessive moisture, predators, and theft. The floor should stay reasonably dry, and the house should have enough ventilation. As your business grows, you can improve the structure. And here's something important: don't build a huge goat house for 100 goats when you only own 5. Build according to your current needs, but leave room for sensible expansion. With some people, one commercial farming operation has separate areas for maternity, kids, weaners, and mature goats. This type of organization can make feeding, monitoring, and disease control easier as a herd grows. Remember, a good goat house is not the one that looks expensive, it's the one that keeps your goats healthy. And speaking of healthy goats, this next part can determine whether your farm grows or slowly disappears. Health is where your profit begins. Imagine spending months raising a goat, only to lose it because you ignored a simple health problem. That is money gone. And when several goats become sick at the same time, the losses can become serious. This is why health management should be part of your business plan from day one. Keep the goat house clean, provide clean water, watch your animals every day, learn to notice changes in appetite, movement, behavior, body condition, and general health. When you buy new goats, don't immediately mix them with the rest of your herd. Consider quarantine and get proper veterinary guidance. And don't guess when it comes to serious diseases. Work with a qualified veterinary professional or livestock extension worker for vaccination, parasite control, treatment, and other health decisions appropriate for your area. Good management also means keeping records. Write down when a goat was bought, when it was bred, when it gave birth, how many kids it produced, what health problems it had, and when it was sold. Because if you don't keep records, you may think your farm is profitable when it isn't. And now we come to the part that makes goat farming really interesting: breeding. This is one of the reasons people are attracted to goat farming. You don't always have to keep buying new goats. Your females can produce kids, and those kids can become the next generation of your herd. Goats have a gestation period of about 5 months, so good breeding management allows farmers to plan kidding and herd growth. But don't make the mistake of assuming every female will produce twins every time. Real farming doesn't work like that. Some goats will produce one kid, some may produce twins, some may have problems, and some animals may consistently perform better than others. This is why records are so important. If one female consistently produces healthy kids and raises them well, you know she is valuable. If another animal repeatedly gives you problems, you need to ask yourself whether keeping that animal makes business sense. Over time, you want to keep improving the quality of your herd, and this is where selective breeding becomes powerful. You are not simply trying to have more goats, you are trying to have better goats. Let's imagine two farmers. Farmer A has 50 small goats that grow slowly and are poorly managed. Farmer B has 20 healthy goats with good genetics, good feeding, good records, and good management. Which farmer has the better business? The answer is not automatically Farmer A, because the number of goats alone doesn't tell you how profitable the farm is. Your goal should be to increase healthy goats, growth rate, survival, reproduction, and selling value. This is why improved breeding is becoming an important part of goat farming in different parts of the world, so don't chase numbers just for the sake of numbers. Build a herd that people will actually want to buy. And that leads us to one of the biggest questions every farmer should ask before buying their first goat. Who is going to buy my goats? This is something many beginners completely forget. They buy goats first. Then months later, they start asking, where can I sell these goats? Do the opposite. Find your market first. Talk to local traders. Visit livestock markets. Talk to butchers. Talk to farmers who buy breeding animals. Find out which goats are in demand. And ask what buyers actually care about. Is it size, age, breed, body condition, meat quality, breeding ability, location? Once you understand your market, you can decide what type of goats you should produce. Always check your current local market before making an investment decision. And this is why I keep saying, don't just produce goats. Produce the goats your market wants. Now let's put everything together. If I were starting a goat farm with limited money in 2026, I would not begin by trying to build a massive farm. I would start with a manageable number of healthy females. I would build a simple, secure shelter. I would establish my own feed sources as early as possible. I would identify a reliable breeding buck or breeding service. I would create a health plan with veterinary support. And from the very first goat, I would keep records. Then I would allow the herd to grow. Instead of spending every bit of money on buying more animals, I would reinvest part of the income into better genetics, better feeding, better housing, water, and health management. And I would only expand when my feed space and management could support the larger herd. This is how you avoid one of the biggest traps in farming: growing faster than your resources. Now, before we finish, I want to say something very important. You will see videos online saying, buy 10 goats and make millions. Start with 5 goats and become rich. Goat farming is easy money. Please be careful. Goat farming can be profitable, but it is not automatic. Your results will depend on your location, breed, feed costs, disease management, mortality, reproduction, labor, market prices, and how well you manage the business. So don't copy somebody else's profit numbers without doing your own calculations. Before you buy your first goat, calculate how much you will spend. Calculate your feed costs. Calculate veterinary expenses. Think about labor. Think about what happens if some goats die. Find out how much you can realistically sell your goats for. Then calculate your expected profit. That is how you start thinking like a farmer and a business owner. So, what is the real secret to profitable goat farming in 2026? It is not having the biggest farm, it is not having the most expensive goats, and it is definitely not getting rich overnight. The real secret is good genetics, good feeding, good health management, good breeding, good records, and a reliable market. Start with what you can manage. Don't be ashamed to start with 5 goats if 5 is what your money can support. Learn how to take care of those 5, make them healthy, breed them well, grow your own feed, keep records, sell intelligently, then reinvest. 5 can become 10. 10 can become 20, and 20 can eventually become a serious commercial herd, but only if you manage the business properly. So, if you have been thinking about starting a goat farm, but you've been saying, I don't have enough money, maybe you don't need to wait until you have a huge amount of money. You may simply need to start with what you can manage and build slowly. And remember, the goal is not just to own many goats. The goal is to build a profitable goat business. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants to start goat farming. And tell me in the comments, how many goats would you start with if you were starting your farm today? 5, 10, or 20? And if you want to see the numbers, in the next video we can break down the actual startup budget for a small goat farm, including the cost of goats, housing, feeding, veterinary care, and how to calculate your expected profit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.